Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Today is August 26th. Aaron Judge has had a crazy week of hitting home runs, and could Jackson Merrill be making a case for Rookie of the Year? Let's talk about it. Hello, everybody. My name is Steven. This is the middle of the order. How are we doing today? It is Monday, the start of a new week, start the last week of August. It is the 26th, so happy birthday to my brother. 25 years old for him. And we're in the last week of August here. The dog days of summer pretty much coming to an end here as we really start to look into the postseason chase, the playoff hunt. Teams will slowly start to get eliminated, and eventually we'll have our first couple of teams clinching tickets into the postseason. But yeah, we're going to be talking about all that and a lot more here today. So with that being said, let's get on into our series recap. Alrighty, leading us off, we've got the Rockies in New York to take on the Yankees, who open up this series with a 3-0 win. The Rockies would battle back in the second game, leading up to a 9-2 victory. But then the Yankees with the Bronx Bombers come back in the third game. Soto, Judge, and Stanton go back to back in this game. Judge hits 2 home runs for his 50th and 51st home runs on the season. They win it 10-3 and take 2 of 3 against the Rockies. D-backs in Boston to take on the Red Sox, and this series was one-sided, and it was for your Arizona Diamondbacks. They are hot right now, 12-2 in the first game, 4-1 in the second game. And then they complete the sweep with a 7-5 victory. Red Sox get swept at home, not good for their playoff chances. Angels in Toronto to take on the Blue Jays, and this was a fun series if you were a Toronto fan. They opened up with a 5-3 victory on a Thursday. This is a 4-game series here. Then the Baby Jays, Loper Fido and Addison Barger go back-to-back home runs in the ninth. That ties it and walks it off. Barger's walk-off home run, a 5-4 Blue Jays victory. Then in the third game, Bowden Francis takes a no-hitter into the ninth before losing it. Blue Jays still win this one 3-1, and they look for the 4-game sweep and would have no issue finding it. They win it 8-2. And a 4-game sweep against the Angels. Very special stuff there for the Blue Jays. Astros and Oilers now for a 4-game series, and this was the series to watch. Astros opened it up a 6-0 victory, very commanding victory to open the series up. But then things get dicey into the second game. By dicey, I mean exciting. Baltimore down 5, but they score 5 runs in the 8th. Anthony Santander, the go-ahead grand slam, a comeback win for Baltimore as they take it 7-5, and it wouldn't be their only comeback win, because in the third game they call upon Jackson Holliday to pinch hit with the bases loaded, down 2-0, and a bases clearing double for the kid. 3-run score. Baltimore takes it 3-2 in that game. They look to get the 3-1 series win, but they could not find it. Astros win it 6-3 on the Sunday game. They split the 4-game set 2 each, but what a series this was to watch. Cardinals and Twins, a little sandwich here. Cardinals win it 6-1 in the Friday game. Then Twins shut out the Redbirds on Saturday 6-0 to get that game back and even up the series. Cardinals, though, with the rematch, win it 3-2. They take the lead in the ninth with 2-run single from Lars Nootbaar that helps them get the win and take 2 of 3 from the Twins. Phillies and Royals now. The Royals open up this series strong against the Phillies with a 7-4 win, but then Philly comes back in the next 2 games, 11-2 on Saturday, and they had so much fun scoring 11 runs that they did it again on Sunday, 11-3 this time. The Royals were able to add an extra run, more so than they did on Saturday, and the Philadelphia Phillies take 2 of 3 from the Kansas City Royals. We now look to the Tigers and the White Sox. One team is bad, one team is disgustingly bad, and the Tigers, the bad team, they win it. They sweep the White Sox 5-2 on Friday, 13-4 on the Saturday, and then a 9-4 victory for the Tigers on Sunday, and that is the White Sox 100th loss of the season already, and we're not even in September. The White Sox have lost 100 games. It has been an ugly season for them. Rangers and Guardians now. Well, hey, good news for the Guardians. Twins lost 2 of 3. Royals lost 2 of 3. A good chance for the Guardians to up their lead, but they lose out on the first game, 5-3 Texas in that one. They come back strong on Saturday with a 13-5 win, and they look for the series win on Sunday and get the chance to find it as they beat the Rangers 4-2. Guardians take 2 of 3 against Texas and gain a game back up on their division rivals. Giants and Mariners now. The Mariners with some magic in the first game. They score 4 runs in the 8th to tie it, and that takes us to the 10th inning where Leo Rivas singles in the walk-off run. The Mariners come back. They score 5 runs in the last 3 innings to win it 6-5 and beat the Giants. Giants, though, come back on Saturday with a win to make it even up the series 4-3 there. But the Mariners on Sunday would take the same score, 4-3, but make them the winners. Seattle takes 2 of 3 against the Giants. So yeah, they needed that series for sure. Brewers and A's now. The Brewers looking to continue to grow a division lead against the NL Central teams, and they have a easier opponent in the Oakland A's. They win it 11-3 in the Friday game, 9-5 on Saturday, but they do lose out on the sweep as Oakland avoids it with a 4-3 win on Sunday, but still the Brewers take 2 of 3 from the A's. Nationals and Braves. A walk-off starts this series. The Braves win it 3-2 in the 10th inning on a throwing error from C.J. Abrams. Not how you want to start off a series. This would carry over into Saturday as the Braves took another game 4-2, but the Nationals avoided the sweep with a 5-1 win against the Braves, who end up taking 2 of 3 against the Nats anyways. Cubs and Marlins, a little battle here between teams that met in the postseason a few years back ago. 6-3 Cubs open up the series, followed by a 14-2 win, an absolute slaughter there. Marlins, though, come back on the Sunday game, win it 7-2 to avoid the sweep there. Reds and Pirates played 4, and this series kind of surprised me because the Pirates came out swinging in this series. A 7-0 Pirates win to open up the series, followed by a 6-5 win. Then the Reds blow it open on Saturday, a 10-2 victory for them. And then with the lead on Sunday, they're looking to even the series, but they would not get that opportunity as Yasmani Grandal hits the walk-off home run. Pirates win it 4-3, and they take 3 of 4 against the Reds. Mets and Padres also played a 4-game series, and this was the second best series in my opinion. Mets started it strong on the Thursday, an 8-3 victory for them. Padres came back though, shut down the Mets, a 7-0 victory for them. Then the Mets on Saturday, a little pesky here. Francisco Lindor homers twice from both sides of the plate. 7-1 Mets win that one. They look for the 3-1 win of the series, but they don't find it. The Padres come back. They score all 3 of their runs in this game in the last 2 innings, capped off by Mr. Jansen. Merrill, another clutch walk-off home run for him. The kid's on fire. He's amazing. The Padres win it 3-2 and split the 4-game set with the Mets 2 each, which brings us to our last series, the Rays and Dodgers. Another great series here. The Dodgers win it the first game 7-3. It was 3-3 into the 9th, but Shohei Ohtani, who else but Shohei, a walk-off grand slam, and that makes his 40th home run of the season, completing a 40-40 season for Ohtani. A special win there for the Dodgers. Then in the second game, the Rays hold off the Dodgers in extras, as in the 9th, Junior Caminero gets the game-tying home run to tie the game up and bring us into the 10th, where Jose Caballero hits the 2-run home run for the Rays. Dodgers can only get 1 run back, and the Rays win it 9-8. And for the rubber match in this series, the Dodgers hold off the Rays. They win it 3-1, your final, and that is your series recap. All right, now for the game of the weekend, and let me tell you, there are so many great games. Just want to mention them quickly here. Of course, the first game, the Blue Jays, the back-to-back home runs from their kids, Joey Loperfido and Addison Barger for the walk-off. That's a great one. Shohei Ohtani's Grand Slam walk-off, 40-40 season, another good one. The other game of the Rays-Dodgers series, Caminero, Caballero, the two homers late sparked the Rays win. Of course, Baltimore's second comeback victory, Holiday in the clutch there, the pinch hit, Bases clearing double to put them ahead. Of course, Jackson Merrill hit another clutch late inning home run. This one was a walk-off to beat the Mets. And then, of course, the Mariners did score 5 runs in the last 3 innings to beat the Giants 6-5. But the game of the week, we're taking you to Baltimore between Houston and the O's here. Bottom of the second, Ramon Urias reaches on a fielder's choice. That means a run will get to score. 1-0 Baltimore. Top of the third, it's Jose Altuve hitting a 2-run shot. He made a deal with a kid to give him a bat after if he hit a home run. Number 17 for Altuve, 2-1 Houston. And the inning didn't stop there. Jeremy Pena then doubled in a run, and Jake Myers singled in a run. So the Astros score 4 in the third to make it 4-1. Bottom of the third, Colton Cowser, home run number 19. What a season he's had. 4-2. Astros still in the lead. Top of the sixth, it's Jeremy Pena who hits a home run. His 13th of the season makes it 5-2. And that brings you to the bottom of the eighth. Astros a 3-run lead, feeling good about themselves. Wrong. Anthony Santander. What a season Santander is having. Grand Slam game-changing home run, 38th home run of the year. He's got 38 home runs. That's crazy. 4 runs come in from 5-2 Houston lead to a 6-5 Baltimore lead. They added one more for insurance as Ramon Urias tripled in a run to make it 7-5 Baltimore. That was your final. They win this one 7-5, and that was your game of the weekend. A lot of great baseball was had this weekend, and a lot of great moments from this weekend. Starting things off here of things that I would like to talk about, Aaron Judge is setting some history. He hit 3 home runs in the series against the Rockies, 2 of which came in the third game. Home runs number 49, 50, and 51. He's on pace to break the AL home run single season record. Once again, he broke this record 2 years ago in 2022. And with a crazy week here, Aaron Judge has hit 7 home runs in the last 7 games. He is on some sort of tear right now. I would not pitch to him if I was any other team, but they keep making that mistake and they are getting burnt from it. Baltimore is sure not enjoying Judge's surge here, but he is on a hot one right now, and it's very likely that he will end up hitting 60 home runs again. Aaron Judge, I believe, became the second Yankee ever and the 5th player ever, if my numbers are correct, to have hit 3 50 home run seasons ever. The other Yankee being Babe Ruth. And I believe he joins the likes of Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire, and I forget the other guy off the top of my head. Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire, and somebody. Babe Ruth and him. But still, very special stuff from Judge here. And it's helping the Yankees out in a big way. The gap to Baltimore is slowly going to start building up. But of course, they need to keep on winning. And of course, try to keep Baltimore from winning as many games as they can as well. But regardless, Judge is on a heater right now. Not only that, but his Paw Patrol episode debuts today. So if you got kids at home, or if you just want to see Aaron Judge in cartoonish form on Paw Patrol, I'm sure you can find it for yourself. But yeah, that's kind of fun for him and a little exciting stuff there. Moving on here, I want to talk about Jackson Merrill because I am starting to love this kid each and every single day more and more. In this season alone, and let's be honest, when I say in this season, I mean realistically in the last 2-3 weeks, he has had 6 game-tying or go-ahead home runs in the 8th inning or later this season. That is way more than anyone else. The kid is super clutch. He's having fun, and his Padres are doing pretty good right now. They've had a little bit of a bump since their historic start to the month of August, really. They're now 4.5 back of the Dodgers and 3rd place in the division. They're a game and a half back of the Diamondbacks. But the pitching's been solid, the hitting is there, and when you have Jackson Merrill kind of hitting those clutch home runs, you gotta feel really good about yourself. The thing I want to bring up here today is, could Jackson Merrill, if he keeps hitting, the way he's been hitting, if he keeps having his moments, could he win the Rookie of the Year? I don't think so, unfortunately. I think he deserves it. I kind of want him to see him win it. But at the same time, you have a guy like Paul Skeens who is way more getting high-level media coverage. The social media presence is there, and his stuff has been electric. Like, there's no doubt that Paul Skeens isn't deserving of the Rookie of the Year. But it is also upsetting for, I guess, if you're a Padres fan or if you just, like to see some of the young guys, have these kinds of breakout seasons. Jackson Merrill is having a wonderful season and honestly should be, considered for the Rookie of the Year voting. I wish I would like to say that I could see him winning. But I think Paul Skeens is going to be somewhat unanimous winning the Rookie of the Year. I think the Rookie of the Year should do separate Rookie of the Years. Like, I know they have one for the AL, one for the NL, but they should have one for pitcher and one for hitter, because that would make it a little bit better, because you could have a hitter have this amazing season, but there's a pitcher, and it can get complicated for some of the baseball writers who do end up voting on these awards. I think having a Rookie of the Year for a hitter and Rookie of the Year for the pitcher would help things out a little bit. Of course, remember the beginning of the season when Shota Eminaga was on a complete tear in the league. That has since changed a little bit, but honestly, I think these 3 guys will be your top 3 vote getters and the finalists for the NL Rookie of the Year, and I think all 3 of them are very strong and deserving to win the award. But I think when it comes down to it, it will end up going to Paul Skeens. However, Jackson Merrill's amazing moments throughout the season and great hitting abilities and great fielding catches as well. He's a great fielder out there in the outfield as well. Should be noted and should be talked about when they eventually do start voting for the Rookie of the Year awards, because Jackson Merrill, having a hell of a season. I think he is well more deserving than people are realizing, and definitely needs to be talked a lot more. Going on now, Ohtani hit his 40-40 home run grand slam, walk-off grand slam, the first game against the Rays in that series. And this was caught by some fans, I believe, and it became a bigger deal once it was more known about on social media. But the ball that Ohtani had hit was kind of a wall scraper. It hit off a fan's hand and went back into the field of play. Jose Siri, the center fielder at the time for the Rays, was trying to make a read on the ball and trying to catch it. Obviously did not. Crashed into the wall, fell on the ground, whatever. He saw the ball on the ground there, picked it up, and just chucked it back into the field, into the fans, and let them have a go at it. And people were hating on Jose Siri for this because it was Ohtani's 40-40 ball. He had gotten his 40th steal, I think either the game before or earlier in that game, and then hit the walk-off grand slam for his 40th, and only so many players have gotten 40-40 seasons. I believe Ohtani's the 5th to do so. And people were not happy with Jose Siri, and I'm going to defend Siri here because this is the mindset that I would have if I was a major leaguer. If I'm a major leaguer, I'm with my team. I'm with my, my teammates and my fans and my stadium, and we're doing training every day, and we got games and all this stuff. And your mindset is trying to be better, trying to be the best hitter you can, trying to be the best fielder. You want to be the best guy on the field at all times. That's every guy's mindset. And there are some guys we know who are baseball fanatics who, when they're not practicing or playing the game, they want to watch, other people's games. They want to watch tape and they want to see how they can get better. Like, the baseball is always on their mind. But then you have other guys who have families, have other things to do outside of baseball. This is a different part of the game. It's a different part of their life. I don't think Jose Siri knew that Ohtani was 40-40. I don't know if he believed that, I don't think it was malicious, like, oh, 40-40. Yeah, no, like he didn't do it on purpose. People were saying like, oh, he did it on purpose and like just because he hates on Ohtani. No, you probably just don't realize it because not everyone is keeping track of every milestone ever, And I saw one comment in an Instagram post. I was just like, they get briefed on like milestones. No, they don't. That does not happen in an MLB dugout. The hardest ball to keep track of is like MLB players' like first career hits, because realistically, you don't know if a guy is making his MLB debut or not unless it's like on the Jumbotron or if it's like a top prospect. That's why a lot of the times when a player gets their first major league hit, the whole dugout's at the top step waving their arms like, give us the ball, please. We'd like to keep this one for our guy, because they obviously know, because it's their teammate, their guy got his first major league hit. They're all on the top step waving down at the field like, hey, guys, like, can I have the ball? Like, we want the ball over here. And that's when players throw the ball back into the dugout for obviously, to keep it on. Players are not like remembering, certain milestones, this pitcher's about to get career strikeout number 2000. Like, no, like you don't know that if you're the other team. Maybe a couple players do here or there. Maybe if they're former teammates and you keep track of things like that, sure. But Siri and Ohtani have never been teammates. They are in completely different teams in different divisions. Never been on the same division. Siri with the Rays, Ohtani with the Angels, now Dodgers. It just doesn't make sense. I guarantee you Siri did not know that Ohtani had hit his 40th home run and 40th stolen base. Like, it was a 40-40 home run ball and a walk-off grand slam. He was just trying to give the fans a souvenir, a very special souvenir at that, a walk-off home run from Ohtani, a grand slam. That's pretty cool. But again, at the same time, his team also got walked off on. Like, he's also upset because he was winning. The Rays were winning this, or tied 3-3 before the grand slam, but still, he's not in the mood to be like it was not out of spite. People who are making this bigger than it was. I wanted to talk about it because I was seeing it get made bigger than it was, and it really was nothing. And I mean, like, what more could you do? You're just trying to be a good guy, and then you end up being the most hated. Anyways, I want to talk about this because this is some fun little quirky MLB stats and history coming for you today. Danny Jansen is making some weird history today. The Blue Jays and the Red Sox are beginning a 4-game series this weekend in Boston, or this week. But it is actually going to be 5 games played because the Jays and Red Sox have a suspended game that they're making up today, which is coming from June 26th. This is way back before the All-Star game, before the trade deadline. What makes this weird and historical and all this fun kind of quirky stuff is because the trade deadline has passed and a lot of moves were made from both teams. If you look at the lineup right now as the game was suspended, the Blue Jays have Bo Bichette leading off this game. Bo Bichette's on the IL. He is not going to be in this game. They have Justin Turner in the lineup, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa in the lineup, Kevin Kiermaier in the lineup, all 3 of which got traded during the deadline. So it's going to be a really weird, like, substitution, etc., etc. The Red Sox on the same side. Emmanuel Valdez no longer with the team right now. Dom Smith, Reese McGuire, both those 2 guys were DFA'd. They were in the starting lineup. They will have to be replaced as well. What makes this one really weird and even more like just crazy, Danny Jansen was on the Toronto Blue Jays. He was catching this game. He was batting 7th. Not only was he batting 7th, but he was up to the dish. He fouled off the first pitch, a cutter up in the zone, and that's when the game was called. So he is at bat right now at an 0-1 count with a runner on first in the top of the second. He got traded to the Boston Red Sox. So basically, when the game happens and when this game, finishes and goes down, we're gonna have this section at the top of the second where Danny Jansen gets replaced as a pinch hitter by whoever, and then Reese McGuire is going to get replaced by Danny Jansen. So Danny Jansen is going to catch his own at-bat that he started as a catcher for a different team. And I'm sure you've heard about this because this is something that was noticed and first talked about way before when the deadline first happened. When Danny Jansen got traded to the Red Sox, someone caught on it kind of right away and it began blowing up. And then it blew up more this weekend because Alex Cora did announce that Danny Jansen would definitely be coming in to catch the rest of this first game here. And there's so many other weird tidbits and records and stuff that will be happening with a suspended game like this. The Blue Jays have so many players that they have called up since June 20th here. Guys like Leo Jimenez and, Will Wagner and everything. The way MLB tracks games and all this stuff is based off of the day it starts. So this game, despite being finished today on August 26th, was started June 26th, and it would go down as June 26th. So, for example, now, a guy like Leo Jimenez, who made his debut in, later on in the season, if he ends up, let's say, replacing Bo Bichette in this game and gets, used as a fielder, pinch hitter / defensive replacement, his MLB debut then is technically June 26th. Even though at that time he wasn't on the roster at all, he would be considered eligible, that would count. And it's just really weird to say that that's the way it would work. If a guy hits a home run here in this game, that's going to be a different home run than it actually was, if that makes sense to you. For example, Rafael Devers, he hit a home run. Let me see. I'm going to try to figure this out. Yeah, he hit his 28th home run yesterday for against the Diamondbacks here. If he hits a home run in this game, it wouldn't be his 29th home run. It would be his, let's say, 17th home run or wherever it was during this time in between June 25th, June 27th, wherever number he had of home runs. And the home run he hit yesterday, which was his 28th, would then be his 29th home run. It's really weird when they do the suspended games. A lot of fun stuff's going to happen with this game here. It should be starting up soon because, of course, it's a suspended game doubleheader, so they still have to play another game in the night. But the real headline is with Danny Jansen being the first player in MLB history to play for both teams in a single game. But not only is he playing for both teams, he is catching his at-bat that he started. It's going to be some weird baseball for sure, so definitely tune in and check that out if you get the opportunity. All right, now, and lastly, the last couple things I wanted to mention here for some other news. Kevin Biggio, of course, was DFA'd by the Dodgers. The second time he got DFA'd this season. This is when they need to bring Freddie Freeman back. But he did sign a minor league deal with the San Francisco Giants this weekend. So he will be in their farm system for now. Hopefully he can make his way back to the majors at some point this year and potentially help the Giants out as they try to chase down a playoff spot. And the other big news for today specifically, Dylan Crews, the number 2 pick in last year's draft right after Paul Skeens for the Nationals. He will be making his Major League debut today. Very excited for this kid, one of the top outfielder prospects in the game right now. The Nationals, I believe, number 1, number 2 prospect in their farm system. And he's got it all. We've seen it in some games of his. The contact's there, the power is there, the speed is outstanding, the defense is great. He honestly looks like he could be a 5-tool player, an absolute star out there. And this is just continuing on this Nationals wave of kids, at the right time and I don't know, man. Could the Nats really go for something next season? Start clicking a little bit. C.J. Abrams, James Wood. Now you got Dylan Crews. Some of these prospects are going to start calling them up. If they have an offseason where they go, spend some money, get a couple players, the Nationals could be a little bit more interesting next season. Maybe not exactly 2025. Give Dylan Cruz and James Wood like a full season under their belts, and maybe call up another one of their kids or something. But 2026 is really looking like a good year for the Washington Nationals, especially if they can get their pitching going. Of course, DJ Hers has been really good this year. Mitchell Parker's had some up and down starts. And of course, Patrick Corbin is almost not a National, and that will help them out in terms of getting a lot of money back in their payroll that they can spend elsewhere. And also a guy who's not going to give up so many home runs and have a high ERA and not a lot of wins in their records. But Dylan Cruz making his MLB debut today. Very excited for the kid to hopefully get his first career hit, maybe first career home run as well. So there you go. All right, now let's dive into our hot and colds for the week here. And of course, as mentioned, talking about Aaron Judge, he is leading things off in the hot section because he is hotter than ever right now. 8 for 21 this week with a double and 7 home runs. All 8 of his hits, extra base hits, 11 RBIs, 8 runs, 4 walks, and how about no strikeouts for the big man, a 1.948 OPS. Very good stuff here. Now, I spent a lot of time looking at the pronunciations here. Jackenzie Noel, I believe is the pronunciation. His nickname, Big Christmas for the Guardians. 8 for 20, 2 doubles, 3 home runs, 6 RBIs, 8 runs, a 1.405 OPS for him. Jackenzie Noel, Big Christmas himself on the hot list here. Then we got a couple of Blue Jays. Joey Loper-Fido having himself a week. 8 for 20, 3 doubles, 2 triples, a home run, 3 RBIs, 4 runs, a 1.355 OPS. 6 of his 8 hits, extra base hits. And followed by him is the veteran now, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., also 8 for 20, 2 doubles, 2 home runs, 5 RBIs, 6 runs, 5 walks, and a 1.338 OPS. And lastly, joining these guys on the hot list is Francisco Lindor from your New York Mets. 10 for 29 with 4 doubles, 3 home runs, 6 RBIs, 6 runs, and a 1.180 OPS for him. If your last name is Lau or Low, you are cold. That's what I learned doing this. Josh Lau from the Rays, 3 for 24 with 11 strikeouts. Brandon Lau, 4 for 29 with 12 strikeouts. Nathaniel Lowe, 3 for 21 with 4 strikeouts. Take up Lowe, and Lau. Take the 3 of them and combine them. This week, they were 10 for 74 with 27 strikeouts. Ugly stuff from the Lau brothers and Brandon Lowe. Jackson Holiday, of course, he had the clutch game bases clearing double to give Baltimore a win. That was his only hit this week. He was 1 for 20 with 9 strikeouts otherwise. And then for the Angels, Nico Cavadas, 1 for 19 with 10 Ks. That is your hot and cold. As we look now to injury updates, not the biggest list here, only 2 updates for you. William Contreras, I believe. I hope I didn't read it as William and it was Wilson. I think it was Wilson, actually. I'm going to do a double check here. So before I tell you about Contreras, Javier Baez. He is landing on the IL with hip inflammation, and it is Wilson Contreras. I wrote the wrong brother down. Wilson Contreras from your Cardinals. He has a fractured finger, and he is on the IL as well. So those 2 guys will spend a little bit of time on the IL. We'll look now at our outstanding performances. We got a nice list here. Led off by the Pirates Rookie of the Year, soon to be potentially Paul Skeens. 6 innings pitched, 2 hits, no earned runs, 1 walk, and 9 Ks. When you're having starts like this, each and every time you have an outing, it'd be very hard to lose the Rookie of the Year. Spencer Arrighetti keeps on delivering for the Astros. 6 innings pitched, 3 hits, no earned runs, a walk, and 6 Ks. Joe Musgrove, what a game he had against the Mets. He looked fantastic out there. 7 innings pitched, 1 hit, no earned runs, no walks, and 9 Ks. Bowden Francis from your Blue Jays, what a start for him as well. 8 no-hit innings, went back out there for the 9th before giving up the home run to Taylor Ward. 8 innings pitched, 1 hit, 1 earned run, 3 walks, and a career-high 12 strikeouts for him. Zach Gallen, 6 innings pitched, 2 hits, no earned runs, 4 walks, and 9 Ks against the Red Sox. Pablo Lopez, I've been missing out on some Pablo Lopez. I haven't seen him much this year. 7 innings pitched, 4 hits, no earned runs, 1 walk, and 9 Ks. That's the kind of Pablo Lopez the Twins need going for the rest of the season. We mentioned this from the Nationals. DJ Hurst is here. 5 innings pitched, only 1 hit allowed, no earned runs, 3 walks, and 8 strikeouts for him. Ronaldo Lopez keeps on doing his thing for the Braves. 6 innings pitched, 3 hits, an earned run, 3 walks, and 7 strikeouts. Kevin Gausman, this is the kind of Kevin Gausman we saw last year. This is the Kevin Gausman we expected to see this year. 7 innings pitched, 2 hits, an earned run, no walks, and 10 strikeouts for him. And lastly, Gavin Stone from your Dodgers. 7 innings pitched, 3 hits, an earned run, 2 walks, and 7 Ks for your outstanding performances. Alrighty, now still slightly early for the magic number segment, but just want to throw a couple teams out there. In the AL, the magic number for the Yankees, the best team in the AL right now, is 22. On the NL side of things, the magic number for the Dodgers right now is 20. So we're getting pretty close to some teams clinching. AL, the losing number right now for the leading team is the Angels. Their losing number is 15. And on the other side, it's the Rockies and Marlins, who are both tied right now with a losing number of 8. And funny enough, these two teams face each other this week. So they're essentially competing to be not the second team eliminated from the year, but both of them following suit here. Taking a look at the standings now, Yankees now have a 1.5 game lead over Baltimore for the first time. We're doing this, and they're not tied. It feels like all month we've been saying they've been tied. Right now, the Yankees have a 1.5 game lead up on the Baltimore Orioles. They are looking good there. 77-54 for the Yankees, 76-56 for the O's. In the AL Central, the Guardians, a little bit of a skid this week. They're 4-6 in their last 10. They're 20 games above 500, 75-55, and hold a 3-game lead over both the Royals and the Twins, who are tied at 72-58. And just a little FYI, the Guardians and the Royals play this week. So if Kansas City plays well, we could be talking about the Royals being in first place in the division. What an amazing thing that could be for Friday's episode there. Big week for the Royals and the Guardians there. A sweep would be crazy. In the AL West, the Mariners continue to struggle. In their last 12 games, they are 3-9, and they're 4.5 back of the Astros. If they want the postseason, it's going to come through the division. They need to start chasing down the Astros. They only have one more series against them, so they need to start playing good baseball, winning their games that they can control, and hoping the Astros will lose out. The Astros play Philly this week, so a good chance for Seattle to hopefully gain a game up or two. But yeah, 4.5 back. The Astros 70-60, 10 games above 500. Where was this 2 months ago? The Astros on a surge the past month here. The NL East kind of got a little closer than you think. Phillies at 76-54. The Braves 70-60, 6 games back, which, I mean, still seems like a lot, but I think it could also be doable depending on the Braves' injuries. That's something that I'd still want to look at a little bit more in depth here. Philly over the Braves there. In the NL Central, the Brewers are hightailing it, 75-55, 20 games over 500, and 10 games up on the Cardinals. They're going to be the first team to clinch the division. They're the only team I don't think will lose their division. I think, the Dodgers could, the Phillies could, Astros, Guardians, Yankees, all of them could switch the division. There's still close-ish matchups. But a 10-game lead with a month and a bit to go in the season, I think the Brewers are feeling very confident and should start looking at preparing for October baseball there. And in the NL West, the Dodgers have been much better as of late, 78-53. They're finally the best team in baseball. That took them a while to get, but they are the best team in baseball for sure. They have the most wins and the least amount of losses. They're looking good. The Diamondbacks, we talked about a little skid they had a week or two ago. That is no longer the case. They're on a 6-game winning streak, and they're looking good. They got a series against the Mets coming up, 75-56, 3 games back of the Dodgers. Padres a little bit slower as of late, 74-58. They're 4.5 back of the Dodgers, but there is still a wide open door for the taking. Taking a look at the wild card, Baltimore 3 games up on the line here, and of course the Royals and Twins are tied for it. Boston 4.5 back of the wild card. They have lost 3 straight. Of course, they got swept by the D-backs, but they have an opportunity here with 5 games against the Blue Jays. They really need to take 4 of those 5, if not sweep the Blue Jays. That would be crazy. Of course, the Blue Jays coming off a sweep of their own 4 against the Angels. And then Seattle 6.5 back of the wild card, so easier for them to go through the division. But the Boston, they're the team right now. If they start slumping here, I mean, we're pretty much going to have a postseason picture with the 6 teams. It's just a matter of which seeding they'll all get. In the NL side of things, the Diamondbacks on their 6-game winning streak are now the first NL wild card. They would host the Padres if the postseason started today. They're 4.5 up on the line. Padres in the 5 seed, 3.5 up on the line. Braves still in the postseason hunt and postseason picture, which is good. The Mets a little squandering, but did split the Padres series. That was good for them. They're 2.5 back of the wild card, and right behind them is the Giants. And by right behind, I mean double the lead, because the Mets are 2.5 back. Giants and Cardinals are 5.5 back. So a little bit not where those 2 teams want to be, and the Cubs 5.5. So, for this whole time we were talking about this dog race between the Nationals, Pirates, Reds, Cubs, Cardinals, Giants, Mets, Braves, like who's going to win the post, like who's going to get the wild card seats. Now here sitting in September, it's looking like the Mets will be the only team competing against the Braves, and then on the AL side it'll be just the Red Sox competing with the Twins/Royals/Guardians even. But yeah, it looks like the rest of the NL Central teams are starting to wear out. And the Giants have been pretty mediocre as well. If they need to go, they need to go now. And they need to have like a nice 5-6 game winning streak like the Diamondbacks are having, because that is what's going to propel them into the NL wildcard. And that is your standings check. I'm running out of voice here, a lot of talking here, but we're almost wrapped up here. We just got to go through our upcoming series. I gave you guys a little bit of a teaser during the standings check here, but as mentioned, the Blue Jays and the Red Sox, they've got 5 games to be played, one of which suspended to be starting in the top of the second. Of course, Danny Jansen's historic game, that's all coming up there. Braves and Twins, that's a fun little series there. Of course, Royals and Guardians, that's the big series. If you are a Royals fan, you're heading to Cleveland, do your best to get those games. Guardians, hold off those Royals. That's a big series to watch. Definitely the series to watch. Rangers at White Sox. How many more games can the White Sox lose? That's the question. That's the narrative there. Angels at Tigers in a series that probably no one cares about. Rays at Mariners. Mariners, get those wins, man, because the Astros are in Philly taking on the Philadelphia Phillies, obviously. Yankees at Nationals. That's a fun one for Dylan Cruz to make his MLB debut against the Yankees. A's at Reds. Cubs at Pirates. Giants at Brewers. Padres at Cardinals. Marlins at Rockies, for which team is going to be the worst team in the NL. Mets at D-backs. That's a fun series as well. And we round things off with a really fun series. Oilers at Dodgers. So there's about 3 good series to watch here. The O's and Dodgers, the Mets and D-backs, and of course the Royals and Guardians. Those are my 3 series to watch. I should start doing that. I should start picking out like 1 or 2 series of like if you're going to watch a baseball game, it should be these ones. I think that'd be a little fun and quirky. Maybe I'll start doing that for the rest of this season here and potentially next season as well. But that is going to do it for us here today. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, so much for listening and being a part of another episode here on the Middle of the Order. I appreciate you all. If you're new and you liked how the podcast format here and all the news we talked about, feel free to like, subscribe, helps me out a ton. And I'm really excited to keep things going here, and I'm excited for the rest of the baseball season as we get inching closer and closer to September and the postseason. Ladies and gentlemen, that is that. Thank you, everybody, so much, and I will see you on Friday.